Welcome back, guys and gals. Today I'm doing something very different with a fellow YouTuber of mine, Dan the Man Reviews. And today me and Dan are teaming up in a collaborative video where we talk about some of the best films of the year so far. So before I start talking about my 6 favourite films of the year so far, I just want to thank Dan the Man Reviews for letting me be on his channel. I'm very honoured. It's a very cosy, warm and fuzzy place. I really enjoy Dan the Man Reviews' channel. I just needed a bit of Mountain Dew before I start. Let's do this! So coming in at number 6 is the SpongeBob movie, Sponge Out of Water. This film is hilarious, it's full of incredible gags. The characters once again prove that they really do own the show. Every moment they have shines, especially Patrick Star. I mean, as a sequel, it doesn't do much to improve upon SpongeBob SquarePants movie from 2004, but in terms of sheer entertainment, and the fact that the comedy is so brilliantly timed, and you can tell that people from the TV show have been working on this film, I give it 2 thumbs up. At number 5, it's The Theory of Everything. It works tremendously well as a biopic, because it is very fluid in its direction, and it just works so well with its relationship status, but also the science behind Stephen Hawking. And what I mean by fluid is the fact that the camera glides throughout the film. What was that? That's a fish. That's a fish. Healthcare. At number 5, it's Big Hero 6. Now, going into Big Hero 6, I wasn't actually expecting too much. It's a Marvel film based on a Marvel comic book series, but I didn't actually know that much about it, but at the end of the film, I knew so much about this movie. And it's because of these very well-written characters, and the story is so splendidly charming and beautiful in its own way, and the relationship between Baymax and Hero is so fun to watch, but also heartbreaking. With dazzling special effects and some very interesting thoughts on science fiction, coming in at number 3 is Ex Machina. Now, this is a very claustrophobic film. There are 3 central performances, and those are basically the only characters in this film, and they are the driving force for this story. Now, it's directed by Alex Garland, who in me is a very innovative writer. He writes some very interesting, thought-provoking themes, and it shows in Ex Machina. Mountain Dew maketh man. At number 2, it's Kingsman: The Secret Service. Now, ideally, the reason why it made number 2 is because this is a British independent film. It's directed by Matthew Vaughn, an incredibly creative person. He knows exactly how to direct action. This is complete fun, it's boisterous, it's so lively, and it is just such a fun time at the cinema. Now, of course, coming in at number 1 is a film I haven't reviewed yet, but I promise you, it will be one of the best reviews I've made. I'm going to put so much effort into it, and it is Mad Max Fury Road. I was looking for something that was completely bonkers, something that was deranged, mad, something that lived up to the title. The action is incredible. The things George Miller did to make an authentic approach to the story is incredible. I was watching Mad Max Fury Road with a huge smile on my face, and I couldn't stop laughing. I was having the time of my life. George Miller is a mastermind. He combined everything you loved from the first 3 films into this new reboot that takes place within the same universe, with Tom Hardy replacing Mel Gibson as Max Rokitansky in a role that is completely and utterly mad. So those are my top 6 best films of 2015 so far. Now I want to give a huge thank you to Dan the Man Reviews for letting me be on his channel. He's a great guy, I really appreciate him for what he does, and I'm very thankful that he's allowed me to be on such a prestigious channel. I'm going to hand you over to Dan and he's going to talk about his.
Damn, Stan, that's a pretty damn good list, buddy. That's my friend, my good buddy, and fellow YouTube reviewer as well, Stan Wilks. Stan has an awesome channel. I'm just honored to be collaborating with him. I said, come on, man, let's collaborate. Your videos are so awesome. They're in depth. Hell, sometimes we disagree, but you know what? Me and you, I love the back and forth and how you explain why you like certain things. Stan's channel is really, really great. I'll have his channel in my description box. Check it out. Subscribe. This guy has a great channel for film reviews. Man, how am I going to top that, Stan? How am I going to top that? So basically, my top 6 movies so far, I judged it how I felt going into a theater and coming out of a theater. And if I had a smile on my face and I really enjoyed it, this is how I judged my list so far. I mean, it doesn't have to be Oscar-worthy writing or whatever. It's just a movie that really did it for me. So let's get started. And let's start with number 6. So Chappie, a lot of hate on Chappie. This is fun. This was great. I really enjoyed it. I don't know what people are talking about. I really liked it. I'm going to be, completely honest with you. If I like a film, I like a film. I'm not going to say I don't like it because all these other critics. Look of the film alone was just gorgeous. Neil Blomkamp knows how to direct and also just visualize a film. The special effects and the practical effects are in such great use here. I didn't know what was real and I didn't know what was fake. I did like the characters. I liked Yolandi. I liked American. I liked Ninja. Even though they're thugs, even though their acting was a little bit, spotty, they really put their heart into it. I really did enjoy what they gave to their performance. It felt like real people. Score. Oh my God, the score was amazing. I really loved the score. It had that 80s RoboCop type feel to it. I just thought it's like, I love the score. It didn't need to blow my expectations, even though we kind of deserved something like that from Neil Blomkamp. However, it did its job. It made me definitely say, you know what, this was better than I thought it was going to be. So that's why it's on my number 6. Avengers Age of Ultron. I was a little disappointed, honestly. This movie was a little disappointing. I thought it'd be a better film, but overall, it was a fun film. I had a fun time watching it. Hulk versus Hulkbuster? My God, that was admission price alone. I was rooting for Jeremy Renner, and they delivered. Jeremy Renner in this film, Hawkeye, is probably the best thing out of the film. They really did great wonders for his characters. Elizabeth Olsen. Paul Bettany as the Vision was probably the most awesome thing in that film. He looked great. He sounded great. I just wanted more Vision. It wasn't as, solid as I thought it would be. However, I did like from beginning to end, where in the first Avengers, I liked the last 45 minutes of it. So Age of Ultron is on number 5 because, it did its job. It is like that popcorn, you're eating your popcorn, you're enjoying the flick. You say, you know what? Where's that Spider-Man end credit, damn it? Pixar's Inside Out. So many emotions in my head. There's so much creativity in this film. It's blowing my mind. Visually stunning. The color use is so great. The color palette is so great. The way they use the color for embody the characters were nice. I love the character designs. I love joy, sadness, anger, fear, disgust. The voice acting was fantastic. Bringing in Amy Poehler, great move. Amy Poehler, whatever she does, it's gold. There's one part in this film that I absolutely love, where basically when she goes to sleep, and it's basically a sitcom. That is awesome. Joy and sadness are on their little adventure. I love all the pretty much detailed work that was going around it. There's one point we see Imagination Land. No, not South Park Imagination Land. It is good for the family, and a comedy works to a T. I was really laughing out loud. LOL! Welcome back, Pixar. You definitely brought a film that everybody could really enjoy and talk about for a while. Same with Stan, I gotta agree. Ex Machina at number 3. The acting performances alone is a must-see. Oscar Isaac kills it in this film. This guy probably deserves an Oscar nomination just for this film alone. I'm just gonna go straight to it. After the end of this film, this made me think for a week. I was like, what? Actually does have real locations that they filmed at, that really the mound that they're in, the area that they're in, it's just simply gorgeous. The direction is really great as well. It brings on the tension. It makes you wonder. It makes you guess. It makes you do a lot of things. Now this film is very smart. The writing, very smart. The dialogue, the interactions between these characters are really, really great. It's truly a sci-fi film that will leave your jaw dropped at the end. That's why it is number 3 on my top 6. At number 2, wow, a lot of people might complain about this, and sure, the simplicity of the story, the stupidity in the story, also the overall special effects not being that great. However, Jurassic World did its job. It made me feel like a kid again. It made me feel like I was watching Jurassic Park so many years ago, that 4 times I watched it in the theater. Special effects maybe not as great, but Dominus Rex looked fantastic. He was the villain. This dinosaur was the villain I wanted to see from Age of Ultron, for Ultron to be. However, Dominus Rex did it. He was menacing. It was just, this creature was just fucking ruthless. This thing was smart. I mean, this thing was everything you wanted to be as a villain dinosaur. It fucking was fantastic. I gotta say, man, the ending probably will go down as the most epic ending in film history. One of the most epic endings of film history. Not saying it is the most epic ending in film history. It is one of the, it makes you just so pumped up. After you leave in the theater, like, holy shit, did you see that? It was fucking fantastic. There's a lot of things to nitpick. There's a lot of things to say about it. And I wouldn't even disagree with you if you said this movie sucked. However, this movie, in my eyes, did everything it wanted me to do. It did everything that it should do. And it made me emotional. Not that emotional. It made me joyful. It really brought a smile to my face. So Jurassic World is my number 2. Number 1, who could have doubted? I mean, this was the most anticipated movie of the year for me, along with Force Awakens. However, I think I was looking forward to this a little bit more. I love the original trilogy. I think Road Warrior is the best out of that trilogy. Mel Gibson as Max I really enjoyed him as Max. I think I see Mel Gibson as Max every time. My expectations were already this high. Blew him out of the water. 20 years down the line, you'll have people watch this and say, holy shit, look at the love, look at the stunts, look at the practical, look at the characters, look at the overall pretty much experience of Mad Max Fury Road. This movie is kick-ass, balls to the wall, in your face. Balls in your face. Tom Hardy as Max was good in it. Charlize Theron was better. Her character Furiosa was so much better. But I did love both of them together. Their chemistry, great. They didn't have to say anything. However, you knew they meant business. Overall, the characters were great. Immortal Joe was awesome. Stunt work was fantastic. Oh, freaking guy who's playing guitar through the whole film, just awesome. Mad Max Fury Road is number 1 because, you know what, it just blew my expectations. George Miller did create a classic, a masterpiece. So I want to thank Stan, man. Stan the man. I want to thank you, buddy, for collaborating with me. This was a fun review. I wish we do more of these in the future. Just go to his channel, subscribe, and thank you, Stan. Thank you, Stan, it's just been a real pleasure collaborating with you. And it's very interesting how both our top 6 are different. And that's the great thing about film, is that you don't have to like the same movie. Everybody has their own taste. Everybody has their own opinions. That is what film is all about. So nobody's right and nobody's wrong. If you like them, I just want to send a message. If you like a film for what it is and nobody else does, that's fine. That's you. Don't be afraid. Embrace it. Embrace that you like this certain thing. So thank you guys for listening. And thank you, Stan, for collaborating. And like I always say, grab a tick, grab a seat, get some good popcorn to eat. See you at the cinema, guys. Actually, me and Stan will see you at the cinema. All right.